Today on Texas Justice.
Lisa Miller is a virus to society. She immediately demanded $5,000 for a boob job and then $1,500 for furniture. I told her...
Well, did you get it?
No. Well, we did a little dipping and dabbing. She did a little dipping and dabbing. I already had my
I don't
portion of my money.
understand a
I had
little
my
dipping
portion.
and dabbing. What?
So she dipped the dab and it dwindled out. And then the money lost a little count.
This is Texas Justice. Eric Blake says his former fiancée pawned her engagement ring for some quick cash, then borrowed $1,300 to get it back. Now that the relationship is over, Eric says he wants his money and his diamond ring. Eric's former fiancée, Lisa Miller, says she's not going to pay Eric a dime because the diamond ring was a gift, and what she did with it was her business. Judge Larry Joe has entered the courtroom and is ready to begin the case of Blake versus Miller.
Eric Blake, why are you suing your ex-fiancée?
Sir, we are here today because Lisa Miller is a virus to society.
Is this a medical case or legal case? Tell me how it got to be that way.
Sir, while I was over in Japan and Guam defending our nation's country, she took my $12,000 ring and hawked it for $1,300, and I had to personally pay the money.
That'll teach you to leave the country, won't it?
Yes, sir. I had to personally pay to get my ring out of hawk, sir, and
my ring that you bought for me.
And I will be telling you why. Sir, in February of 2000, Lisa had pressured me into getting engaged to her. Part of the engagement was she was going to quit smoking, and my grandmother had died from cancer. Part of the reason I was going to marry her, she was going to quit smoking and go on with our lives. In March, she had...
With you, I presume.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In March, sir, she had moved in with her mom. She was not working, had a hard time with money, but I was right there with her, supporting her in several different ways.
What kind of job do you have?
I'm in the military, sir. I'm a nuclear electrician. I work on submarines.
Which submarine? You must be in the Navy.
Yes, sir. I was on the USS Florida. She told me if she wasn't married by June 16th, it was it. So she was supposed to be 30 days smoke-free by June 16th, and I had no problems with that.
So that's when you bought the ring, huh?
No, sir. I had bought the ring in February
and
when we had been engaged.
every time I would have a cigarette, he would take the ring away from me like a little girl.
Let me see that ring.
And that is not a $12,000 ring. You bought it for $5,400.
I had a I had a very good deal, sir.
Somebody's had this ring appraised by a jeweler, haven't they, William?
I was there.
Sir,
Your Honor,
so you're pretty sure this isn't a zircon, huh?
No.
Your Honor, that is a 1.5 carat diamond ring. It is a VS2 J color, high quality. I recently went back, and it has been appraised for definitely a lot more. And the jeweler themselves, the same jeweler, said that they do not give that quality out anymore.
Is this the engagement ring?
Yes, sir. In June, sir, I decided to re-enlist in the Navy for $60,000, half of which I got up front. She immediately demanded $5,000 for a boob job, and then $1,500 for furniture. I told her.
Well, did you get it?
No.
I told her, sir. I said no. I said this money is for our retirement.
Your Honor.
I'm planning our future together. But in the fall, we were going to budget for new furniture.
I can't talk because every time I try to talk to him, he screams, he yells.
You think he'll do that if I let you talk? He might have to talk to William if he does that. You want to tell me your side of this story? We're going to give her a chance.
Yes, sir.
All right, that means you and me.
Yes, sir.
But I might get to ask questions, not you.
I have plenty.
All right. This works like the Navy. Attention.
Yes, sir.
Tell me your side of this story.
Okay. We started dating, and I moved back home with my mom. He was out to sea, and I waited for him. That was, I knew what I was getting myself into when he went out to sea. He came home, I saw him, and he said, well, if you'll quit smoking, I'll get you that ring you want. And I said, okay.
So what'd you do with his ring?
Well,
I mean, I know the end of the story is he got the ring back, but why do you think he's suing you?
If I may.
What happened was, he started getting mad, like I'd get my child support, he'd say, hand it over. If you want gas or cigarettes, I'll give you the money for it. I mean, how would you feel? So, hand it over. You know, you work hard.
Just like your mother treated you at home when you were growing up, wasn't it?
Well, She didn't even really do that. And I didn't want a father. I wanted a partner. He wasn't my father.
All right.
So,
well, how about that, Eric?
Sir, I have plenty of response to that. In June, as I said, I re-enlisted. I bent over backwards. She told me if I wasn't going to stay in the area, she wasn't going to move unless we were married.
I didn't want to move when I was not married. I was not going to move across the country.
I agreed with her, and I got orders to stay in the area around her friends and family.
That was not because of me. That was because of your family.
You're right. I wanted to stay in the area as well. I'm going to college.
So what's that got to do with the ring?
In June, she had given it back to me, said a few choice words, and then immediately the next day took it back. In July, she went ahead, and after she'd become upset, she'd given it back to me. I took the ring and I hid it in the battery compartment of my alarm clock.
Our alarm
Sure,
clock.
that's where everybody puts it. That ain't a good hiding spot.
Within 2 days, she had dug through the entire house, found it, and took it. Of course, you know,
he would get mad at me and
honest,
hide the ring.
I'd asked
hold
her.
on. How did you find the ring?
Oh, I knew he hid it in the bedroom somewhere, and he thought he was so sneaky. He'd get mad at me and hide the ring.
Everybody
if I took
looks
it
in the
off.
battery compartment of the alarm clock.
Did you think that thing was an Easter egg or something?
No.
I mean, are you actually hiding it from her, or are you just playing, watch this thing go out and come back?
I told her if she was going to get it back, I would give it back the way I wanted to. She pressured me into marriage. I wanted to propose how I wanted to propose.
You know, there's an old Indian saying that a gift is not complete until it's passed on. How many times did y'all pass this ring back and forth?
A few times.
Sir, it took me forever to get this back. I had in August.
It took him.
When you gave it to her in the first place, you never intended to get it back, did you?
Initially, I wanted her to quit smoking and get married. I wanted to live my life with this girl. I loved her children. Their children called me daddy.
That's why he sent my daughter a birthday gift. And
I still love the children.
Yeah.
You still love her too, don't you?
In some forms or manners, sir, yes. I want her to get her life together.
Now,
I want her to get her life together.
How many strings does this ring have on it?
It probably has about 4 or 5, sir.
Yeah, and you put them there. Did you know this ring had all those strings on it when you took it? Well, you know, there's also an old saying, it wasn't from an old Indian, it was from Zaza Gabor. She says, "Give him the ring back, darling. Keep the stone." Sir, will you give this ring back to the owner? Oh, you expect me to tell you that, don't you? Are you having as difficult a time telling who the owner is in this case? Actually, I think it's probably time to talk about the ownership of that ring. And it's time for you two to do some listening. This relationship is about control. You paid $5,000 for the right to control her, and you thought that ring would give it to you. You haven't got your relationships down correctly. Let me give you a rule of law you can go with. Once given, gone. But real control doesn't come from external sources. The real power of control comes from inside you. The things you think you control because you give a ring with a string, or because you tell a child what to do, are illusory. That doesn't really exist. The only thing you ever have any chance of controlling is yourself. Now, I've done about all the therapy I'm going to do for you two because I'm about to run out of my credentials. What I am going to tell you is that there's another rule of law. This contract you signed, Lisa, is part of the control mechanism that went with the ring. There's no consideration to support it. Huh? It's not a loan. You got the ring out of hock from the people that got it from her because she had every right in the world to do what she wanted to with it, and you could go cry to the ends of the earth. That ring went with her. She sold it by way of hock to somebody else. You came back in time to get it out of hock, and you tried to make her pay for it. She has no obligation to pay you for that ring. And just because you got her to sign an IOU doesn't mean she did, because you didn't give her something back to go with it. That's called consideration. So the answer to the question is, give the ring to Eric. He bought it. He gets nothing from the case.
All right.
Judge Larry Joe has denied Eric's claim, but has ordered Lisa Miller to return the diamond engagement ring to Eric.